All right, everybody is talking about how to change your life in 30 days and become your best self in 2026, but nobody's talking about the one thing you can't even take a step forward or get out of bed in the morning without. You see, there's an actual place that controls your family's energy, health, your budget. I'm talking about your kitchen. And in the next approximately 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how simple rhythms, a monthly kitchen reset, and a weekly kitchen day can transform your entire family's life in 2026, even on a tight budget. This is an ADHD and trauma-informed reset in this video. It'll work whether you have it or don't. Now, before we get into these practical systems, I want to set the stage, so to speak. And I want to tell you about someone I think about a lot. This person was incredibly successful, powerful even, but this dude was completely burnt out. He was depressed. He was also facing opposition, and so he did what a lot of us do when we are in this situation, feeling down. He went out into the wild, into nature, and he collapsed under a tree. And in that moment, he was so exhausted, so depressed, so done with everything that he literally prayed to die, okay? He's like, I had enough. He's like, I can't do this anymore. Have you been there? Now, if this was a motivational video, this is where I would tell you that he pulled himself together, pulled himself up by the bootstraps, found his why, and pushed through. But that's not what happened. Instead, he took a nap. While he was sleeping, someone showed up with the most basic provision imaginable: bread and water. That's it. He ate, he drank, he went back to sleep. And this is the part that kind of gets me. The visitor came back and said, get up and eat again because the journey ahead is too much for you. From this, I'm thinking the guy must have been pretty malnourished. I think that because a person didn't say to him, you're not trying hard enough. It didn't say you just need to be stronger. It didn't say you need to be more like Jesus. Just that the journey's too much. So eat, rest, and do it again. And do you know what? That simple nourishment, eating, drinking, resting, and then doing it again, gave this person the strength to travel for 40 days and nights to get where they needed to go. So this person was the prophet Elijah, and what met him at his absolute lowest point wasn't a lecture or a strategy or a new routine. It was God sending an angel with food, water, and permission to rest. You can read the whole story in 1 Kings 19:4-8. I think there's a lot to learn here about how important food is, though. I think about Elijah a lot when I'm talking to moms or even myself when I'm struggling, or to moms when they're struggling, especially those of us dealing with trauma, ADHD, depression, and anxiety. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is feed yourself, feed your kids, rest, and then do it again. You're not failing because you need to eat. You're not weak because the journey's hard. You're human. God met one of his most powerful prophets at rock bottom with the most basic provision: food, water, and rest. And that was enough to get him where he needed to go. So that's what these systems are really about. These systems are not about being a perfect mom or having an Instagram-worthy kitchen. They are about making sure you and your family are nourished, body and soul, especially on the days when the journey feels like too much. Because if you want to change your life in 30 days, it starts here at the most basic of human places and needs: rest and food. So if you're watching this and you're barely holding it together, this is for you. Let's build a system that works even on your worst days.
But first, let me briefly tell you about what I'm cooking in this video and who made today's video possible.
After last month's sponsored box from Green Chef, I have really been anticipating this month's delivery, and it did not disappoint.
I have always thought of myself as a good cook, but when it comes to whole food clean eating, these recipes have opened up an entirely new world of flavor profiles and meals I never would have thought of. The kind of meals you keep thinking about later and genuinely craving. With this month's Green Chef box, I made meals for my whole family and every single person loved them. My little boy actually hugged me twice just to tell me how good the food was, and that says everything. If you're tired of misleading healthy meals or locking yourself into another food trend, Green Chef really cuts through the noise. They're a trusted authority in clean eating, using real, farm-sourced ingredients with certified organic produce and responsibly sourced proteins. What really surprised me is how affordable it is. Many of the meals for deliveries to my area even out to about $6 per plate. And depending on where you live, yours may be even less. Either way, that's far less than takeout or going out to eat. And the meals are simple to assemble and make, not complicated or overwhelming. You can choose from over 40 customizable recipes each week, including Mediterranean, high protein, high fiber, and plant-based options that are science-backed and supportive of healthier habits. They also handle the meal planning and the grocery shopping, so it's low prep and low mess. Plus, they're the most sustainable meal kit, cutting food waste and offsetting 100% of delivery emissions.
If you want clean eating without compromise and without blowing your budget, Green Chef is one I truly feel good recommending. Head to greenchef.com or click the link below and use the code 50MountainMama to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Green Chef box plus 20% off for 2 months. That's code 50MountainMama at greenchef.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Green Chef box plus 20% off for 2 months. Code 50MountainMama at greenchef.com. Look, I've been cooking from scratch for 30 years. I know my way around the kitchen, but what I've learned is that knowing how to cook and having systems that actually work for a busy family are two completely different things. So we're a family of 8, by the way. Over the years, I have developed 2 rhythms that have been absolute game changers that I'm now training my older kids in. Like I said, we've got a family of 8. I've got older kids, adult kids, all the way down to elementary. So lately, I have been training my older kids how to have a big kitchen day each month and one working kitchen day each week. These aren't just meal prep sessions. They're the foundation that keeps everything else running smoothly. And here's the thing. These systems work whether you have got a big budget and a big family or a small one, or whether you're stretching every dollar. In fact, some of my best strategies came from the times when money was tightest and I had to get creative. So if you're a mom dealing with ADHD, PTSD, or both, or just overwhelmed, I see you. I know decision fatigue is real. I know that some days even thinking about what's for dinner feels impossible. That's exactly why I am sharing these systems with you and why they work. They remove decisions, essentially. They create structure when your brain is in chaos. You're not broken. You just need a framework that works with your brain, not against it. So today I am going to share exactly what I do, the systems that I've refined over 3 decades of feeding my family. Let me walk you through it. So first, the monthly kitchen reset day. If you've been around here a while, you've heard me talk about this, but a couple times a month we have our big kitchen day. This is a family day, a family event, I guess I should say. And yes, even the kids help. So you could put on some music, make it fun, and here's the process. Step 1, the big clean out. We pull everything out of the fridges, we check dates, we toss what's bad, we wipe down the shelves in the fridge, and we do the same with our pantry and freezer when we can. You would be shocked at what you find in there. Ingredients you forgot you had, which means money that you already spent. You want to get the kids involved. Now, I don't know about your home, but I will go to look in the fridge and there's stuff in there that I've never seen. I have no idea what it is. This is what happens when you have older kids too, that you have taught how to cook. Okay, so step number 2, the inventory. Before you plan anything or buy anything, write down what you already have. We have one big Costco day about every other month, but before it, we all get together and take inventory. One kid will check the cellar, one kid will check the pantry, one will check the freezer, and we make sure we have things like butter, sugar, olive oil, the staples. We make sure that they're all on the list if we're running low. We also try to use what needs to be used. So that half-used bag of rice, those canned tomatoes, the frozen vegetables in the back. This is your starting point. You're gonna build your meal plan around this stuff first. So step 3, the meal planning session. Now here's where you wanna sit down with your family, even the young kids. They can participate and help you plan out the next month's anchor meals. Now, if you don't include the kids, they won't feel included. They won't be included. And I think kids should get to pick at least 1 or 2 of their favorite dishes to add to the meal plan. You don't have to plan every single meal. You can just plan a routine, maybe like Taco Tuesday, Hamburger Wednesday, Soup Thursday, etc. You also want to plan like 4 Sunday dinners, maybe 1 per week, and a few easy weeknight meals that everyone loves and eats. You want 2 to 3 breakfast options that rotate staples the kids actually eat and enjoy. Now, here's the key for tight budgets. Build your meals around the cheapest proteins and whatever is on sale. Chicken leg quarters, ground beef, actually ground turkey is even less expensive, eggs, beans, tuna. Some of these are your best friends. We're talking $2 to $5 per pound versus $8 for chicken breasts. Step 4, the smart shop. Make one big shopping trip for shelf stable stuff and freezer items. Buy the big bags of rice, big bags of dried beans, bigger batches of pasta and oats and peanut butter, canned goods. This is going to be your foundation. If money is tight, this might be your only trip this month for these items, and that's okay. You'll supplement with fresh stuff through the week. Now we have the weekly kitchen day. So every Monday afternoon, or whatever works for your family, maybe Sunday's gonna work best for you, have your weekly kitchen day. This is 2 to 3 hours that saves us time and money all week long. And listen, if you have ADHD or maybe CPTSD or PTSD, I want you to hear this, okay? You don't have to do all of this at once. You don't have to do it all perfectly. The point of this system is that it's the same every week. Your brain doesn't have to refigure and figure out things and then refigure again every single week. Okay, it just becomes something automatic. So some weeks you might only get through step 2. That's enough. One batch of protein and some rice will get you miles through the dinners in the week. That is a few nights. You don't have to think. You don't have to decide. You don't have to fight through the freeze response or decision paralysis to figure out what to feed your family. Okay, so now we have the quick clean. This is gonna take about 15 minutes. Wipe down the counters. Clean out the fridge of leftovers from the last week. Wash any dishes. You can't prep in a messy kitchen, and getting the family to help makes it fast. So a pro tip for neurodivergent moms, set a timer, just 15 minutes. When it goes off, you're done with the step, whether it's perfect or not. So good enough is good enough. Next, you've got the flexible meal prep. This is gonna take around maybe 90 minutes. Here is where you prep, but you're not making fancy Instagram-worthy meals. We're being smart and we're stretching our dollars. For my ADHD moms, pick 1 protein, 1 carb, 1 vegetable prep this week. That's it. 3 things. Write them on a sticky note and put it maybe on the fridge or where you can see it. When your brain tries to add 17 other things to the list, come back to your sticky note, to your 3 things. Next, we have the protein batch. So cook 1 large batch of protein this week. It might be a whole chicken in the crock pot, or if you're like us, maybe a whole 5 chickens. Depending on the size of your family, $5 to $7 can feed your family 2 to 3 meals. A big pot of beans, $1 for dried beans makes enough for days for some families. 3 pounds of ground beef, seasoned and browned, and also get your carb base. Make a big pot of rice, cook pasta or baked potatoes. These are cheap fillers that make meals very satisfying. With your veggie prep, whatever vegetables are the cheapest this week, maybe carrots, cabbage, frozen mixed vegetables are great. So prep them if you need to, and chop fresh ones for snacking, steam or roast frozen ones so that they're ready to reheat. Okay, let's talk about the breakfast setup. You can actually make a big batch of oatmeal or a big scramble that reheats well and do burritos with it, like breakfast burritos, or you can mix up a pancake batter that lives in the fridge for a couple days. Breakfast needs to be grab and go on school mornings. Something that we like to do is if we're making waffles or pancakes or whatever it is, we like to make double so that there is enough for that meal and then maybe another 1 or 2 meals. Breakfast does need to be grab and go on school mornings especially. So a trauma-informed tip is if mornings are your hardest time, this is your most important time to prepare for. Having breakfast ready means 1 less decision when you're already overwhelmed. It means your kids get fed even on the days where you can barely function. This isn't about being a perfect mom, it's about having a safety net for those hard days. So step 3, the assembly strategy, which is gonna take about 30 minutes. Here is the magic, or where the magic happens. You're not making complete meals, you are creating a mix and match system style. So on Monday, that crock pot chicken, you can put it over rice with steamed carrots. On Tuesday, you can shred the leftover chicken into tacos with beans. On Wednesday, that ground beef pasta with frozen vegetables can be mixed in on Thursday with a bean and rice bowl with whatever vegetables are left. On Friday, then you can have like your pizza night, which is your homemade pizzas. We like to make extra pizzas because we like to snack on it all Saturday. So essentially you've got the same ingredients, different meals. Your kids don't feel like they're eating leftovers. They're eating tacos and then pasta, then bowls. So an ADHD hack is to take a picture of your fridge after you prep. When it's Wednesday and you can't remember what you have, just look at the picture. You can also just, as you're putting things away, take pictures as you're putting things into the fridge in case, some stuff's buried in the back. Executive function doesn't stand a chance against a picture, let me tell you. Okay, if you guys are snackers, you will have a step 4. You're gonna need a snack station. So this might take about 15 minutes. Cut up vegetables, portion out crackers into bags, make a big batch of popcorn. Having healthy snacks ready means kids aren't begging for expensive processed stuff and garbage during the week, and you're not buying $4 bags of chips every 3 days. It helps to put everything at kid heights in the fridge and pantry that are for the kids. That way they can see it easily and grab carrots perhaps just as easily as they would have been able to junk. For moms with sensory issues or decision fatigue, pre-portioning snacks is really helpful because you don't have to think about portions or choices in the moment. Your kid asks for a snack, you don't have to try to figure out, okay, just a minute, I was doing this, but now I gotta do this. You can just go grab it, it's done, it's there. No negotiation, no decisions, no mental energy spent. So the money reality check. Let's talk about numbers because I know some of you are thinking, I can't afford to meal prep. Before my system here, many families find they are spending money on takeout 3 to 4 times a week. That's at least $200 a week depending on your family size and where you live. They find they're spending money on random grocery trips, like $150 per pop grocery trips. Wasted food that you probably threw out or that they threw out, that's probably $20 to $30 a week. So the total is $380 to $400 savings a week, which comes out to at least about $1,500 a month. So after my system, one pantry stock up is about $200, depending on where you live. Weekly fresh items like produce, dairy, bread is $60 to $80 a week, almost zero waste. And your total can be anywhere from like $440 to $520 a month. Here are some budget stretching tips that I've learned. Buy the whole chicken, not pieces. It's half the price per pound usually. Dried beans instead of canned saves $2 to $3 per meal. Store brand everything unless you're on a special diet. Your kids won't be able to tell the difference in pasta. Store brand as much as you can. Frozen vegetables. They're more nutritious and way cheaper than fresh since they are flash frozen, fresh from the field. They have more nutrients and they're faster too, no prep. One expensive ingredient per meal maximum. If you splurge on good cheese, for example, the rest can be pretty basic. Eggs are the ultimate cheap protein. Tuna's pretty cheap too though. Eggs are the ultimate cheap protein, $3 to $4 for a dozen meals worth for some families. Okay, here's the family transformation. Here's what happens after about 30 days of monthly resets, weekly kitchen days. For the kids, kids might start asking to help cook since it's more fun and less stressful. Kids will often eat the vegetables when they help to prepare them. Kids will be nourished, families will be nourished, and families will find they're fighting less when they're nourished because they're not hangry or cranky. For the parents, you can stop feeling guilty every single day. You won't feel like you are failing when you have an actionable plan. Less money waste and less arguing over finances because of the takeout meals or the food wastage. For the household, your kitchen can become the center of your family again. Less arguing about what meals to make next, whose turn it is. It's less chaotic and messy, and honestly, meals can become the best part of your week. And here's the thing nobody tells you. When your family's eating good food on a regular rhythm, everything else gets easier. Kids do better in school, parents do better with work, parents feel more patient, everyone sleeps better. You're not just saving money, you're investing in your family's well-being. So if you want to change your life in 30 days, this is where it starts and this is the challenge. So here's what I want you to do. You got 30 days to build this rhythm. Week 1, do your first monthly kitchen reset. Clean everything. take inventory, make a plan. Just this one step will change how you see your kitchen. Week 2 through 4, do your weekly kitchen day every single week. Same day, same time. Make it a family thing. Put on some music, let the kids make a mess. Don't try to be perfect your first week. Maybe you only prep one protein and some rice. That's a win, that's fine. Next week, add vegetables. The next week after, tackle snacks. So build on this gradually. Okay, look, some weeks you're gonna fail. Life happens. Someone gets sick, your work is crazy, and you just can't. That's when you pull out those emergency meals from the freezer, or yeah, maybe you do order pizza. But now it's once a month, not 3 times a week. So if you're a parent who is tired of feeling like you're failing your family every day because of meals, if you're spending money you don't have on food, that's not even good food, and if you want 2026 to be the year your family actually thrives instead of just survives, then commit to this with me. 30 days, monthly resets, weekly kitchen days. So drop a comment with kitchen day and tell me, what is your biggest struggle with feeding your family right now? Also tell me, what is your biggest tip? I am reading every comment and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please share it. Your family deserves to thrive in 2026. And it starts with what's happening in your kitchen this weekend. So if you're wondering how to change your life in 30 days and become your best self in 2026, start in the kitchen.